Every prompt you've typed into ChatGPT has been training a model you don't own, and most of you have no idea it's happening. Right now, today, as you use that chat window the way everyone told you to, pasting in your documents, typing your real name, describing your business problems in detail, the data is going somewhere. And the way most people use ChatGPT is making it worse, not because ChatGPT is inherently dangerous, but because the default settings, the default behaviors, the default habits people have developed, they're working against you. Let me show you exactly what's happening, and more importantly, how to change it. Let's get into exactly what's happening under the hood when you use ChatGPT the way most people do. When you open a conversation and start typing, you're not just sending a message to a chatbot, you're sending data to OpenAI's servers. Data that, by default, is used to improve their models. That's not speculation. It's in their privacy policy, and it's been confirmed repeatedly by security researchers. According to a 2023 analysis by the Electronic Frontier Foundation, large language model providers, including OpenAI, retain user conversation data and, unless you specifically opt out, use it for ongoing model training. The version of ChatGPT most people use every single day has this enabled by default. Out of the box, no warning banner, no setup wizard that says, hey, by the way, here's what that means in practice. Every time you paste a legal document in to ask for a summary, the content goes to OpenAI's servers. Every time you describe a personal health issue and ask for advice, same thing. Every time you type in your company's internal strategy and ask ChatGPT to help you write a memo around it, that's logged, retained, potentially used. A cybersecurity researcher at Kaspersky Lab published findings in late 2023 showing that professionals were routinely inputting sensitive client data, financial projections, and proprietary internal documents into ChatGPT without realizing the data retention implications. Samsung famously had to ban internal ChatGPT use entirely after employees accidentally uploaded confidential chip design source code. Not because ChatGPT is malicious, because nobody changed the defaults. Think about what that means for you personally, what you're working on, what you're worried about, what you're planning, all of it potentially feeding a system you don't control. And it's not just about corporate secrets. Regular people are pasting in relationship problems, medical symptoms, financial situations. This is intimate information. And the default setting is, yes, keep it, use it. If you're sitting there thinking, I never agreed to that, well, you kind of did. It was buried in a terms of service update most people never read. But stay with me, because there's more to this than just data retention. Now here's the part that really bothers me. OpenAI is not a nonprofit research lab anymore. That ship sailed, and where it docked should concern you. OpenAI started as a nonprofit in 2015 with a mission to develop AI for the benefit of humanity. By 2019, they'd created a capped profit structure that allowed them to bring in investor capital. By 2023, they were valued at around $86 billion. Microsoft has poured billions into the company. And as of 2024, OpenAI has been in active discussions about converting to a fully for-profit structure. Follow the money, because it tells you everything about why those default settings are what they are. When you have billions of dollars in investment and a commercial product competing against Google Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, and Meta's open source models, user data isn't just a byproduct. It's a competitive asset. Every conversation you have makes the model smarter, more accurate, better at understanding how humans think and communicate. That training data is worth an enormous amount. When OpenAI says we use your conversations to improve our systems, what they're describing is the engine that keeps them ahead of their competitors. You're not the customer in that transaction. You're the source material. It's like going to a restaurant where you think you're paying for a meal, but the chef is also studying exactly what you eat, how much you leave on the plate, what combinations you prefer, and selling that behavioral data to food companies. You got the meal, but the meal wasn't really the point. If you felt like something was off with how these tools work, like there's a transaction happening that nobody fully explained to you, you were right to feel that. And here's the thing, you don't have to accept those terms. You just have to know where to look. Here's the good news. You don't have to quit ChatGPT, you just have to use it differently. And I'm going to show you exactly how. There are 4 specific changes you can make right now, starting with the most important setting most people have never touched. The first thing you need to do is turn off chat history and training. Open ChatGPT, click your profile icon in the bottom left corner, go to Settings, then click Data Controls. You'll see a toggle labeled Improve the Model for Everyone. Turn that off. What this does is opt you out of having your conversations used as training data. OpenAI added this toggle after significant public pressure in 2023, but they didn't make it prominent, and they didn't make it the default. You have to go find it. Once it's off, your conversations are still processed to give you responses, but they're not retained for model training. This takes about 45 seconds to change. Do it before you do anything else. The second change is how you're structuring your prompts. Most people type into ChatGPT the way they'd talk to a human assistant, with full context, real names, actual company details. Stop doing that. Security professionals call this data minimization, and it's the practice of giving a system only what it needs to help you, not everything you know about the situation. Instead of typing, "My client, John Smith at Accenture, needs a proposal for a cloud migration from their legacy SAP system," type A, "Large enterprise client needs a proposal for a legacy ERP migration to cloud infrastructure." You get the same quality output. You've shared nothing identifiable. This isn't paranoia. It's the same principle doctors use when discussing cases. De-identify the information before you share it. Applied to AI, it's just smart practice. The third change is about what you should never put in ChatGPT at all, regardless of your settings. Passwords, social security numbers, full financial account details, medical records with identifying information, legal documents with names and case numbers still attached. There is no setting that makes it safe to share these things with any third-party AI service. Not because the companies are malicious, but because any system that stores and processes data can be breached. According to research from cybersecurity firm UpGuard, data exposed through third-party API integrations accounted for a significant portion of major breaches in 2023. The safest approach is simple. If you wouldn't post it on a semi-public forum, don't paste it into ChatGPT. The fourth change, and this is the one that unlocks the most capability, is using custom instructions. This is a feature most users completely ignore, but it fundamentally changes how useful ChatGPT is, while also helping you control what you share. Go to Settings, then Custom Instructions. Here you can tell ChatGPT things about your context without having to repeat them every conversation. But you can do it in generalized terms. Instead of, "I'm a cardiologist at Boston Medical Center," you write, "I'm a medical professional looking for clinical level detail." You get better responses. You've shared nothing identifying. Custom instructions also let you control how ChatGPT responds. You can tell it to skip the disclaimers, be more direct, use specific formats. This alone will double the quality of your outputs if you've never set it up. Now, a quick note for some of you. If you're using ChatGPT through an enterprise plan, specifically ChatGPT Enterprise or the API, the data handling is meaningfully different. Enterprise agreements include data processing addendums that explicitly exclude your data from training. If you're a business owner and your team is using personal ChatGPT accounts to do company work, that's the real vulnerability. The fix is either moving to an enterprise agreement or establishing a clear policy about what can and can't be inputted. Individual users on free and plus plans are the ones most affected by everything I've covered today. Look, you didn't come to this video because you're paranoid. You came because something felt off. And you were right. The way these tools are designed, the defaults they ship with, the settings buried 3 clicks deep, none of that is accidental. Companies make deliberate decisions about what's on and what's off by default, and those decisions almost never favor your privacy over their data collection. That's not a conspiracy. That's just business. But here's what I want you to take from this. You have more control than they want you to think you do. The toggle exists. The custom instructions exist. The practice of data minimization exists. You started this video using ChatGPT the way most people do, with the defaults running, sharing more than you needed to, probably unaware of where that data was going. Now you know exactly what to change and why. That matters. Not just for you, but for establishing norms. When millions of people start opting out of training data collection, when users start demanding better defaults, companies respond, slowly, reluctantly, but they respond. You're the admin of your own digital life, not a passive user of whatever defaults some product team decided on. Take the 15 minutes to make these 4 changes, turn off the training toggle, build the habit of data minimization, set your custom instructions, and know what never belongs in a third-party AI system, full stop. Do it today, not next week. Because the data you share tomorrow is already being processed. If this helped you, hit subscribe. I cover these issues the moment they matter, not weeks later when everyone else finally catches up. And drop a comment. What's the one thing you've been putting into ChatGPT that you're now going to handle differently? I read every single one.